Styx Shards of Darkness is a sequel to the 2014 game Styx Master of Shadows, and it's kind of an unusual sort of trajectory this character has taken, because even Styx Master of Shadows wasn't his first appearance. It was actually in a 2012 game called Of Orcs and Men that was kind of like a turn-based RPG, and that was alright actually. It wasn't too bad, but the character is kind of taking a spin-off into stealth games, and Styx Shards of Darkness takes a lot of what was in Master of Shadows, but everything's been tightened up and improved. And honestly, it's a rather fun, simplistic in a way stealth game with a lot more features that aren't sort of what you'd normally see in a stealth game. So with other stealth games you've seen recently, like Hitman, it's very grounded in realistic. It's guns, and it's your character has very limited athleticism in a way. Like, he can climb and he can jump around a bit, but in Styx Shards of Darkness, you're a little orc goblin. You're a goblin. You're actually a goblin, not an orc. And this allows a lot more flexibility with your approach of gameplay, and that's sort of what makes Styx Shards of Darkness a bit more than what you might expect it to be. Like, you have games like Dishonored where it's still you're human, but the cool thing is you have all these powers. You have powers in Styx as well, but they're sort of more fantasy-ish. It's set in like a fantasy type world, and art style wise this game is pretty damn special. Like, this game made me stop a few times to look around at the art design. It stands out. It's different. It's not your typical fantasy or medieval or realistic. It's got a great little look of its own. But Styx is a sort of third person stealth game that it gives you a bunch of opportunities on each level to sort of scour the map. The maps are decent size. They feature a ton of different avenues to explore, so you can go in and you can go forward, you can use your powers, or you've got to see maybe there's some alternate paths and shortcuts. And Styx very much wants you to stay stealthily and in the dark, and that's known by the fact that once you go above the medium or normal settings difficulty wise, you cannot engage in combat. Being spotted is an automatic mission failure, and that sort of adds to the pressure and the tension of getting around, and on top of that, the satisfaction of actually getting through the level. The only problem with that is the controls aren't perfect. There have been plenty of times when I've wanted to jump onto a ledge, and for whatever reason he just didn't jump the same way he did last time, and I drop and get spotted and it's over. And this is on top of this is kind of frustrating as well, in the fact that even if you have a lower difficulty setting where you can attack or you're allowed in combat, you can't really actively engage in combat. You've got to parry and then attack, and it's just not the perfect way to engage in combat. But the controls sort of unfortunately lead you into that scenario sometimes. There's plenty of times as well where I was going around the corner and I was just waiting for the prompt to pop up, and the prompt just would not pop up, and I just was inching closer and closer and get spotted. So it kind of it's not an incentivization, it just leads you then to forcibly be just like a ghost, like stealthily completely. And to me that led to a lot, and I mean a lot, of trial and error. Like, I was constantly failing nearly every encounter a few times because I needed to just find out, okay, I've got to do this and then that and then that. And as much as the levels warrant open style, open gameplay, open approach, when there's any really enemies there and you have to sort of get past them, you've got to start trial and error everything until it works right. And it sort of led to such frustration, which is unfortunate because everything else in the game is so different and fun than the typical stealth games, and the game looks incredible. It's got a very weird, what's the right word, weird personality attached to it. Styx is, if you've played any games with him in it, he's a bit of an ass, and he's very much, he's a goblin. He's not supposed to be likable, but when you die there's a fourth wall breaking sort of thing, a la or akin to the Batman Arkham series, except he's berating you and laying into you, and some of it's kind of funny and some of it's a bit cringy, but hey, that's sort of the personality that this game has. It's not like many other games out there. So if you're looking for a third person stealthy game, Styx Shards of Darkness is pretty cool. It's just got its little shortcomings, pun intended I guess, but yeah, it's a fun third person stealth game. It's just it's not quite there, but I feel like if they got another go at a Styx game, I think they could have something really incredible here. They've got to see it, and it's time to maybe let it grow for a bit and see what they do and come back with it in a couple of years.